What's up, everybody? Don't forget to subscribe to the World's TV YouTube channel so you don't miss out on any of this great content moving forward.
Who do you think is they?
There are people who've been in charge of the world for quite a long time. And to keep it simple and to make sure this podcast stays up, the people who control the money are going to control the world.
You notice how I said to keep it simple and to keep, keyword keep, this podcast up, this podcast on YouTube and other social media outlets like TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram. The people who control the money control the narrative. When you control the narrative, you control everything. When you control how people think and their perception, you can literally control them mentally, physically, and emotionally. This is the real reason why Andrew Tate got banned. Not because of his misogynistic views, which is mainly false, but because of he constantly talked about the higher power out there, the people who are in charge controlling certain narrative for you to follow. Therefore, if you go against a narrative or question what they're trying to do, you will get canceled and deplatformed. That is the main subject and issue at matter. He was trying to expose that. They didn't like it, and they said, okay, we got to take this guy off the internet. Why do you think he got deleted from 3 of the major social media platforms out there? TikTok, Twitter, still on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook, Meta, whatever the fuck you want to call it, and YouTube. You don't think that those people had a meeting? They had a conference call to say, hey, what are we going to do about this guy? YouTube, Instagram, Facebook / Meta, and TikTok all had a meeting, said, okay, how we got to take this dude off the internet? Because when you expose the truth, they don't like it. When you lie to people, it sells. When you tell people the truth, they don't like it because it's costing them money. And when you cost these millionaires money, they're going to retaliate in ways like this to get you taken off the web.
Because if you have money, you can influence people.
Yeah.
Right? So, and the governments, what do the governments need? Money. So they're a layer in the chain.
That's what I mean.
The governments are the illusion of choice.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who the fucking president is. Bullshit.
Also, there's fucking music in the background is scary as shit. It's also adding to the dark demeanor of the video, but I just wanted to add that point.
Right? So the true matrix, the people who truly control it, they want as much influence and power as possible. This is human nature. If you have a company, you're not going to hire employees who disagree with you and don't listen to you. You're going to want them to be as compliant as possible, just like you're going to want your woman to be as compliant as possible. It's who you are as a man, right? So if you're one of the most important, powerful billionaires on the planet, you're going to want as much power over the world as possible. You want people to be compliant. So you're going to look for the outside support structures and attempt to attack them. If you had a girlfriend and she's 100% and she listens to you, except she has this one friend who's always in her ear talking shit, you're going to say, don't be friends with her anymore.
Exactly, because she could be outside, whether good or bad, influence on her, and therefore when you have influence on other people, they could start to change their minds and see a perspective, whether it's a good or bad perspective. You do not want people to listen to other opinions. You want them to listen to one solely. And again, as I mentioned before, when you control people's influence, you control their mind, and when you control their mind, you control them mentally, physically, and emotionally.
So if you're trying to teach the children X, but their parents are trying to teach them Y, you're going to say that we need them to spend less time around their parents. So how do we do that? We need the parents to be more busy, and we need them to go somewhere.
That's just like some crazy control shit, though. Is what.
Bro, the fact that he mentioned that, and I've been watching videos, like past videos, of him saying how school is pretty much setting kids up for failure, which it is. That's mainly a fact, because they tell you to go to college, take out a whole bunch of debt that you can't pay, to get a job that pays you 17, 18, 19, 20 bucks an hour. So hold on, I'm supposed to spend $100,000 that I don't have, and my return is $40,000 a year. I'm no math major, but that is a horrible investment. To spend $100,000 of money that I don't have and to get back $40,000 that I have to bust my ass for, no thanks. But that's besides the point, okay? If you look at what the schools, the curriculum are teaching kids now, students now, they're teaching them a whole bunch of garbage shit. And where is it coming from? The people up top. the people at the top are saying, hey, we want you to teach these kids certain way. Look, example, the whole gender war that we're in. They can't even define what a woman is. You can't define what a man or a woman is anymore. And if you do, if you say, okay, a man has this, a man cannot carry kids. He could help make kids, but he cannot carry kids, okay, for 9 months inside his belly. A woman can. A woman can bring in life. A man breathes life. Oh, no. Men could be women too. Women could be men. And it's binary and cis and all that. No, shut the fuck up, okay? There's only 2 genders. Now, listen, I don't care what you do. You want to transition. You were born one gender. You want to transition. More power to you. I have nothing against that. I support you 100%. But that is one of the things that they're teaching kids nowadays, especially called gender. It's like a gender class. If you ever go to college, they tell you to take a gender class. Why? What are they trying to teach you? Now they're actually changing and adding to the curriculum because of what they want to teach you or have an influence over you. Like, hey, guess what? A woman could be binary, cis, straight, heterosexual, and gay at the same time. What? If you like other girls, then you are gay. If you like men, you are straight. If you like both, then I guess you want to go around and have fun. I don't know. You're like, what do you talk about? I mean, if you're like, you could be physically, okay, I'm getting off topic, but nonetheless, I have saved the video for that day, but I want to stay on course here. Yeah, nonetheless, they're teaching kids, especially in schools, to learn a certain way, to think a certain way, okay? And that is the reason why majority of people, 99% of people, are in the situation financially, mentally, and physically that they are at now, while the other people, the elites, continue to get richer and richer and richer. I can't believe I almost went off topic.
You're saying.
Yeah. But that's what they've done.
Yeah.
It's on purpose. Like, it's very, very purposeful. It's all done on purpose. These people
I just
are
think
not fucking stupid.
the average person doesn't understand that, like, that statement means that, like, there's people above us that are just trying to control us, right?
Oh, completely. There's people in charge above us trying to control us all.
Here's, for example, of people trying to control you. The COVID vaccines. When they came out with that ridiculous mandate saying, hey, in order for us to get back to business, you're going to have to be forced to take 3 or 4 of these unproven vaccines. And yeah, you're still going to have to wear a mask. You're still going to have to social distance. And you're still going to have to do all the policies and precautions that we placed even after taking this vaccine that they promoted would be safe and effective. Guess what? It's not. They lied to you about that. There is power in telling people what they can and cannot wear. There is power in telling people what they can and cannot put on their face. If you think about this 1 second, I'm not trying to go into COVID rant. Okay, when COVID, the virus first came out, they told people to wear a mask because it spread through the air. But when they started opening back up restaurants, you can sit down, take the mask off, eat your food, but as soon as you stand up to either go to the bathroom or leave the facility, you have to put the mask back on. That made absolutely no fucking sense. A virus, an airborne virus particularly, travels, okay? If I sneeze, it's gonna travel at least 10 to 20 feet. Now it's gonna disperse and get smaller because of the particles, but it's still gonna travel. You breathe other people's air, okay? So how the hell does a virus all of a sudden go away and disappear when you're sitting down eating? What about if it gets in the food? The virus can get on the food. When you sneeze and you don't cover your mouth, some of the particles or the little germs and stuff like that could get on your food. That's also making people sick. That made absolutely no sense. And the fact that a lot of people did not think about that, they just went along with it. It was like, oh, well, hey, I guess must be true. And I even said they went along with it. It was because they forced people to take these shots. And how they force you? Your employment was on the line. If you don't take these shots, you will no longer have income, which means you can no longer support and financially provide for you and your family. You can't keep a roof over your head, and that nice car that you drove, sorry, it's gonna get repoed. Or same thing with schools. Hey, guess what? You were in college getting an education. Yeah, if you don't take these shots, we're gonna pull you out. Huh? Oh, guess what? If you don't take these shots, you can't go into this place of business. That's how they controlled everybody with the vaccines. And the fact that all of a sudden you just noticed COVID went away. Nobody is talking about it right now. After the war in Ukraine happened, all of a sudden COVID just disappeared. And now they're trying to make a comeback with it. It's like, well, COVID's still around. No, it's not. Okay, it was man-made. It was man-made. The vaccines were man-made. Why? I don't know what's in the vaccines. I'm not a doctor, but there is power. There is a sense of happiness that sick people get when they could tell people to do what they want to do. Okay, all the people up top. You look at the billionaires, the trillionaires, Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, all those type of guys. Bro, they are never going broke ever again. But those who have multiple businesses, run multiple corporations, buying these lands, they get a sick feeling of telling people what they can do. Okay, when you have a lot of money, when you have money that could buy you anything and everything, your next form of happiness is control, is power. And that's exactly what Andrew Tate was trying to tell people. And on this podcast.
I mean, if the last 3 years haven't proved that, I don't know what's going to prove it to you.
See what he just said exactly. Again, last 3 years, COVID came in 2019. We're in 2022, about to be in 2023, and they still have people trying to wear masks and act scared when they go out in public. You know, nonetheless, I didn't want to go on a COVID rant, but that was just a pure example of them saying, hey, you know what? If we want to control people, we control them mentally, and when you control them mentally, you control them emotionally and physically. That's it. We had people fighting over toilet paper when the pandemic hit. We had people robbing small-owned black-owned or small businesses, period, at an extremely alarming rate. Okay, and guess what? Why do you think they're trying to get cryptocurrency to be regulated? Because they want to control how much money, how much profit that you can get. Stocks, I believe, in my opinion, and I have money in stocks, I think that they control that too. One day you see a big swing, the next day you lose all your money, or majority of your money. The rich stay richer, the poor stay poorer. They are trying to control everything you do. Here's another example before I end this video. California just recently passed a law that they will be officially banning gasoline-powered cars by like 2035, something like that. Why is that? It's because all of a sudden they want to say, hey, we want a more greener earth. You know, climate change is happening. The emission from the ozone layer, stuff like that. No. Do you know that we are the cause of Mother Nature and the earth being fucked? Every time you cut down a tree and you build a business or whatever, a factory, that's hurting us in the long run. That's why I hate cutting down trees. But that's besides the point. They tell you this in terms of, hey, we are doing this for your safety. And when they replace your freedom with safety, then they can control you. As I mentioned with the whole California banning gasoline-powered cars by 2035. If everything is all electric, at a flip of a button, a flip of a switch, they can turn off your vehicles. Everything is battery powered. There's a chip in them. Tesla has been making these type of making these type of cars, electric cars, for a while. There's chips in every single electric car. If there's an emergency or something happens, they can literally turn your car off. Guess what? Now you can't go anywhere. But hey, we're telling you it's safe for the earth, for climate change. When you tell people to say, hey, we're trying to do this for your safety, they're taking away your freedom. Now listen, I believe in right to bear arms. Now I don't think you should be going out and buying a fucking AK-47 and insulting the school, but I believe in right to bear arms because guess what? When anytime you walk outside, you could be a target to violence, and you have to protect yourself by any means necessary. Now we want sane people having weapons. I don't want some fucking nut having an assault rifle. But we could talk about that topic another day, talk about guns and stuff like that. But they say, hey, you know, we need to take guns off the streets. We are trying to restrict or take away people's access to guns. Guess what? When people don't have access to guns, how are they going to defend themselves? The government could just come and say, yeah, so we saw what you posted. We didn't really like what you posted. Raid your house, take you out. Again, these are some of the extreme stuff I'm saying. But when you say, hey, we're doing this for people's safety, you're taking away their freedom, the right to bear arms, the gasoline-powered vehicles, the mandates, the forced vaccination shots. What else is going to come? Them trying to regulate cryptocurrency. What else? These are some of the things that you really have to pay attention to. If you think that the government is your friend, here's a prime example. Going back to the pandemic, and I'm going to end this video after that. When people were struggling and they shut down most of the businesses, they gave us $600 checks and thought that that would be suffice to live off of. Think about it. They said, here you go, here's $600. That should be enough to pay your food, your rent, your electricity, and any other necessities that you have while you're currently out of a job and while the world's still closed. Really? You think they really give a damn about you? That right there, if you don't have any common sense, and it doesn't take much common sense to see that wasn't logical. But we can only spread the word. We can't force the word. Let me know what you guys think about this video. Comment down below. Do you agree, disagree with what I said? I'm open to all negative or positive criticism. Follow Worlds TV on Instagram, Worlds TV on Twitter, and Worlds TV on TikTok at TikTok. Till next time, guys, be safe, stay blessed. I'll catch y'all later. Peace.